Welcome back and welcome to this particular segment where we do more of awareness. And the guest that I have with me here is really someone I have to pinch myself to believe that she's here because she does focus on children. And we have been walking this journey, especially now that they've been in the long holidays, but also what they are about to face. The new year, as we look at the new year, it not only happens to the adults, but also to the young children. What does this new year mean for them? Getting into the new classes, that changes all the way from the political scene back to the classroom. That is what we are going to be focusing on. And my guest is Dr. Blessing Namara, who happens to be a medical doctor, a public health specialist. She is a mental psychologist, the reason why we have her here today. So she wears very many crowns, but also one that really caught my attention is Afromothers. Her heart, that is the center of everything that she does. And she's nowhere else other than here. And I'm so excited to have you here. Dr. Blessing, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Stella, and good morning, viewers. I'm so much grateful. Yes.
Thank you for coming, for being here. I want you to tell us a little bit about Afromothers.
Yes.
Why is this something that you chose? Because we've talked about every single hat that you wear. Why did you choose this one to be at the center of what you do?
Oh, thank you so much, Stella. Afromothers, it stands for African mothers. Of course, I'm a mother.
Yes.
That is enough.
And African.
Yeah, and an African mother.
Yeah.
And of course, a mother is the backbone of our economy, a backbone of our nation and of Africa.
Yes.
And then also why I chose Afromothers is because I wanted to give back to my fellow Africans that mothers are facing, what they are lacking. Children have not got enough.
Yes.
Mothers are so busy because we have got this kind of swapping of roles, and mothers are so much engaged in working.
Yeah.
You find that children have not got enough time. So Afromothers stands in that gap, the space between a mother and the children. So we are mothers. We are a group of women. We are a group of mothers looking at empowering families and niching in how we can empower a mother to groom a responsible child.
I like that you talk about responsible and responsibilities. That is where I want us to get to, because when I reached out to Dr. Blessing, she said something that really caught my attention. She talked how we constantly shift the blame, let's not say the blame, the responsibility to the next person. Whenever it is, we say it is the responsibility of teachers. The child is like this because the teacher. The child is like this because of the parent. So that shifting of responsibility. Whose responsibility is it for the child to come out as an upright citizen?
It is a responsibility of every other person, because when a child is not properly brought up, at the end of the day, what comes out of this child affects every other person. You find that the entire society is experiencing the pains of this child. That is where we have stubborn children, we have thieves, we have people, muddlers, children who have gone into drug addiction. We have a lot of children on streets begging. So you find that even if it is coming from one person, maybe the family was not responsible, maybe the family didn't give enough. But at the end of the day, where is the child running to? The child is running back to the society. So it is a responsibility of the whole society, me, you, and any other person.
Okay.
And that is how it was even before, those long years.
Actually, it was better before.
Everyone
looked out for you.
Yes.
Why is so and so's child out here walking around? Why aren't you in
Every
school?
other person was a parent those days.
Yes.
Because even a person, just a person you pass by on the road was responsible to beat you
Yes.
if you did any other problem or
That's
if you
true.
are misbehaving.
That's true.
Contrary to today that children are now with one individual. It is either mother, and if she's a mother, she will draw a child closer to, and you can't touch on her child.
Yeah.
For example, if you come out and you say, but you see, that child is misbehaving, ABC, the mother will tell you, why are you talking about my child? Please get concerned with your own. The same way to even other fathers. So we have lost it, and when we lose this, we are losing everything, because as long as we lose the responsibility of bringing out a responsible child, we don't have tomorrow. Because
It's
that is the legacy. We don't have tomorrow. Whether you have all these investments done, who are you preparing the investments for? So
Right.
it is a role of everyone, Stella.
Okay, so let's get into our topic today. Supporting children through changes or setbacks. And why we talk about it is that after third term holiday, they are either going on to the next class, but then you threw in a different spanner. You said, because when I reached out to you, you said, Stella, do you know there are children who have not gone to another class?
True.
They did not perform well. So we decided we are going to be talking about that. How do we get our children mentally, and I know you love the mental bit of it. So how do you get our children mentally ready for the change of the new class or the setback of staying back in the former class?
Thank you so much. We have a lot of academic pressure. We have very many children that have been shifted or promoted to the new classes.
Yes.
And of course, this brings in tension and fear of whether they are able to manage that class. Some children were promoted on merit. We have children who basically didn't perform well, and parents are going to shift them from this school to another school and then tell these people that my son or my daughter must be in this class. So children are living with this kind of fear of how able are they going to maneuver or thrive through this other new class. Whereas we also have children who have not been promoted. And then this becomes a problem because sometimes they see it as failure.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that it's not failure, it's actually a strength to make this child grow and understand some of the concepts that he was not able to pick when he was in that class. So it is still comes out as a challenge that many children have not been prepared for the shift.
For that, yeah.
So it brings and creates a lot of pressure. The child is like, my mother and my father expect this from me.
Yes.
The society is expecting this. Besides, the schools also are expecting a lot.
They have other expectations.
But all these expectations are placed on this one child, whose the mind is maybe not able to give the expectations.
Okay.
And then also we realize that schools are also pushing a lot to get grades. But they are pushing to get grades on a child who was promoted on merit.
Yes.
Promoted on, there is a lot that takes place behind there. So this is a challenge because it sets back a child and creates a lot of fear and pressure in this child. Yeah.
So now let's first talk about the ones who actually worked hard for it. And then as senior, we have different expectations for the new classes.
Yes.
In school, do you remember, can you look back and try to remember what it felt like being in high school? Me, I remember every year of high school, children in, the students in Form 3 were so cute. Do you remember that?
True.
I remember they were so cute. When I was in Form 1, all I looked forward to was Form 3 because I thought something is going to change in Form 3 and we are going to be cute. Some of the cutest girls were in Form 3. So there are different expectations. Some schools have that when you're in this class, you wear this uniform or you sit on this block. So there are very many things that other people get excited for or even that give them anxiety. So as parents or as the community, how do we get children ready for that? The move forward before we look at the ones who have been set back.
Okay, one of the things that we have to know is intentional in whatever you are doing as a parent. You have to walk through the journey of academics with your child. Because even though your child got good grades and was promoted to another class, we have to avoid labeling grades on our children. Because labels speak louder to this child and create a lot of laxity and a lot of laziness and relaxation. Besides that, children use it also as a point to trigger and cause fear in other children because they bulge and become big and feel, I've been promoted, I'm now in another class. So it is a lot of a parent to step into this life of this boy and girl and walk through the journey. Because prepare this child, number one, for the new concepts. Because maybe in the other class they were doing it this way. For you not to lose the mental health of your child, you must prepare your child that there are new things that you're going to encounter. Prepare your child that expect things that are totally different from what you have been in the other old class. Besides that, do not allow a child to feel that, you are the best, you are an excellent child. Because whenever we do that as parents, it later creates tension because a child makes sure he wants to keep the position.
Yeah.
And in case, for example, if a child was in senior 2 and was getting maybe in mathematics and you're getting 75,
Yeah.
then you enter senior 4 where new concepts are coming
Have
in.
been introduced.
And then the child happens to get 52. I want to tell you, these are children that break down.
Yeah.
Because he feels like, I've not satisfied mommy and daddy. I am disappointing them. So I tell parents, prepare your child that the class you are getting to is not because you are very excellent,
Okay.
but it is because you are growing and moving to another level. And every level comes with different challenges.
Yes.
So let a child be prepared to face those challenges. And then also, don't put a child to work on pressure. Pressure may bring results, but understanding brings more and stable results. So when we put children on pressure to give us good results, true, we may get the good results we want.
That we want.
But how have we left the mental health of this child? So it is our role. Besides that, the school also, let us, all of us, be responsible for this new level. Yes, he worked well for it,
Yeah.
but prepare and tell him that ahead there, you may even fall,
other
but your
challenges.
falling down shouldn't keep you down. Yeah.
You know, I've been hearing you speak, and I'm like, I don't think we're even made ready for the outside world, because all our parents, and I don't mean mine in particular, but all parents cared about was us going through school. But then those changes that you're talking about, being able to talk to your child and say, you know what, yes, you have passed, but there's still more to come, would have probably best prepared us for what the future held for us. But let's talk about the ones who, unfortunately, have a setback. What language are we not supposed to use? What other things are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to feel sorry for them? Are we to baby them? Are we to enforce? Are we to encourage? Like, what happens in that regard?
Any other person, a caretaker of this child, we must be prepared emotionally to create space for these children. Because by the nature that they didn't make it to another class is enough hammer to hit their brain and speak to them that you failed.
Yeah.
And then they interpret it that since I failed, I'm a failure.
I'm not good enough.
Now it comes back to parents who say that, you know, the reason why you failed is because of this. And you know, parents sometimes when they have a lot of stress, they end up transferring it to this other child.
Yeah.
You see, the reason you're failing, the reason you're failing. So I'm calling upon parents that let's give that emotional space for our children to feel that we are in their feelings.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we have to do is to create space for them to be ready, to be listened to. Children feel so happy and they feel they want to be heard. It is better for us to open this communication that is open, that a child is able to come and discuss with you. And that is where I tell parents that come into the feeling of this child and they say, you know what, my son, I guess what you are going through.
I understand.
What do you think I would have done to support you? Where do you think I went wrong? When you look through how you did your papers last year, what do you think was the problem? And how can I come in to be your support?
Yeah.
So when we say all those things, they pull this son and daughter closer to you. This child feels that, wow, my mother understands that I did not fail because I didn't know what to do.
I didn't read.
Sarah, let's agree that
best.
you can read out of what they have said.
Yeah.
I remember those years. You read everything, but you reach in the exams and there is nothing, and then you start to gamble.
My experience, I purposely left out a topic and sub-math. That is where they decided this is that. My God. It was,
yes.
Oh.
I want to tell you, students who fail is not because they didn't read.
Yeah.
They are reading, they are getting into the same classroom with those ones who got promoted. But keeping in the same class is an opportunity for this child to grow.
Yeah.
To understand, to think through and say, where did I go wrong? And then a child is able to mature. But if you're a parent and you're like, because you know you didn't get promoted, I'm changing a school for you.
That is where I wanted to come to. Why are you against it? Because I was talking to Dr. Blessing, and she's like, and some parents, that is the chance they get to change their... Why?
Let me tell you, we are going through a lot. At Afromothers, I think in a day I receive more than 7 to 10 children who are going through a lot of mental breakdown because they have been forced and pushed into new classes that they didn't qualify for. What parents do when a child fails in this school, he automatically gets another report and takes the child to another school where they don't know that this child failed. So the child is accepted. You forget that the concept that the child failed in the other class is contributing a lot to the new concept that the child is going to be given. So a child goes through a lot of pressure to grasp, to understand. The brains are not yet ready and mature for this class. You as a parent, you become selfish.
Yeah.
It is another way of selfishness, and parents have used it in a way of financials. They say, you know, all the money I paid for a full year, I can't lose it. Let him go. Let him go. Process. He's old. He's mature. What do you gain, Stella, for example, if you get your son or your daughter into another class, maybe like senior 4, and then in the vacation, we admit your son and your daughter in a psychiatric hospital because your son is breaking down. The money you wanted to save
is now supposed to help them,
is to be paid in the hospital. So I discourage it.
What if
your son has not performed well and has kept in the class, stand in that struggle. Walk with him every day and let him understand it is not a label of failure. It is a label of maturity and growth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, 2 things have come to my mind. One, what if we change the school, but we maintain the class? Is that okay? To help him so that he does not face the bullying by other children who went in the former school. Would you say that is okay?
It is not good to use rescue model. We have models of supporting children when they are going through the mental stresses. And we have this rescue model whereby you take away the son from the pressure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something that is very interesting. Where you're taking your son, they are also students who have different manners, so different from where you're bringing from your son.
Yeah.
Now, you have not prepared your son to manage to handle, to go through pressure. The new pressure. The issue is not about you taking away your child because you're fearing people to bully him.
Yeah.
The matter and the gesture is you to empower your son to be able to stand in the pressures.
When things hit hard.
When things hit hard. Because even where you're taking your son, there are also people who can bully.
Yeah.
So are you going to rotate around all the schools in the country? So it's better. I think it is about empowering. Empower your son. Let him know how to answer. Let him know how to manage.
Yeah.
And by the way, we also have issues whereby parents make decisions because of anger. You're teaching and transferring a model without knowing. You're actually training your son that when things are bad, run away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you're doing that, Stella, you're not giving us a responsible citizen. We are looking at parenting or grooming a child that is able to stand in all kinds of situations without breaking down. Is it the person you're training? By the mutual that you transferred him to another school.
Yeah.
Because people are bullying him. It means one day when he comes and tells you that, you know, my wife did this, or you said divorce.
Hey, live there.
There won't be a chance of saying that, but my son, this is how things are done. So let's empower them than to rescue them.
I think that is the greatest thing, because earlier on I said there are 2 things, and that is what it was like an aha moment. Even younger children, I've seen how parents say, figure it out. When they are fighting for toys or things, parents are like, figure it out amongst the two of you, like between the two of you, figure it out, so that is how you help your child get to understand that in life there will always be challenges, but you have to go through them.
And we are going through a life full of challenges.
Yes.
Every level, every cadre, every career, wherever you go, in any country,
there will always be challenges.
There will always be challenges.
Yeah.
So when you are empowered and you have this fiber muscle, that your child can stand through hardship, but will not run away and will not break, I think that is the best son that can make a parent proud.
You know, Dr. Blessing,
Yes.
the way like you speak and you've touched my heart, all of a sudden I wanted to ask you, you know, like I wanted now to just translate to my issues, and I say, how do I sit in this? So I have to be reminded, we are here for the children and the changes that they're about to go through.
Yeah.
You talked about being close to our children and going through with them, but let's be honest, that is more like the what we see in the movies. Kuground chiralam, Dr. Blessing, you're a mother, and I know that you saw a need, especially when you started Afromothers, that parents, we are giving probably more time to the work or to other responsibilities that are our children. How do we get back to that place of focus? Because me, even growing up, my parents were not constantly there, available. They tried as much as possible. They always checked in. How did they behave? But that personal thing, to the point that even hugging now, when I hug my mom, it is an alarm. I'm about to hug you. Please know the hug is coming. So already it is not existing. But how do we go back to that place? How do we build the confidence that has not been there? How do we build the relationship that has not been there?
It all comes back to, what do you want as a parent? What kind of a child do you want tomorrow? I remember those years when we were still young, our parents would tell us what they want. And they would not tell it to you direct, but they would use songs. The small time they have you is enough to tell you. Children of these days are very modernized.
Yes.
They read the feeling in the next 1 minute. They already understand. That's why a child can come and say, Mommy, can I help you? Do you have a problem? And indeed you have a problem, but we are trying to cover it.
Yeah.
Now this brings it to parents who are out of a country, and yet their children are in another country.
Okay.
Proper parenting is not about your presence. No. You can be there with your children and you're doing wrong.
Okay.
Whereas you can be far and you're doing right. Everything is about an intention. Be intentional in whatever you're doing. If you know you're so busy and you have that limited time, maybe for a weekend, let that time be for your child. Let the space you give for them make them feel heard and loved.
And seen.
Children want to be seen. Children want to be loved. Children want to be accepted. So even if you're making a phone call, Stella, you can be maybe in the United States and your children are in Uganda. But you make an intentional phone call that is a video call, and you're like, you know what, Stella, please, I want to see you very well. Oh, I love the shoe that you've worn today. You look nice. Where did you get those earrings? It is Auntie who gave them to me. Oh, when did you go there? Like, try to feel.
Okay.
Embed yourself in the life of this child. It is not about you keeping with your child in the back.
Constantly.
With now the current situation, we need money. We have to go and work. We have a lot of pressure
Make ends
outside.
meet.
So let things be intentional. Have intentional communication. Intentional outing. Sometimes you can sleep in the bedroom of your children. Whatever you're doing, do it with an intention, not a by the way. So, for example, if you're so busy and you have your children at home and they are always with a housemaid, the small time you have, let your phones be off. Let your child understand that it's my time. They can tickle you around. They can. I have told parents, Stella, that some of the things we left and we are no longer doing are things that created and strengthened bond with our children, with our parents by then. Can you make a ball play with your children? Hey, go and buy a small ball and say, today I want to win you. So play around as you're playing with them for you, because it is an intentional game.
Yeah.
You're looking at how they react and make them, you're looking at teamwork. Do they have teamwork? And then win them. How do they control anger? Let him fall
do they
down.
take
How
loss?
does he get out from where he has fallen? Like, make sure everything is intentional.
Yeah.
And of course, when you make it intentional, you achieve more results in a small action. But when you do it just because you're doing it, you will do it for years, and you
it
end
won't
up
be
not
impactful.
getting an impact that you want.
I like that. Now, as we, I think, round up, I want us to talk about the schools. What have you seen lately as some of the things that, especially when we are starting off the year, some of the things that probably schools overlook that they should be focusing on and that are keeping students either back or delaying their growth and things like that? Because we've talked about the parents and what their responsibilities should be, but the schools as well.
The schools overlook unheard stressors. Children go through a lot of silent struggles. For a child who have been performing and getting good grades, when they drop, sometimes they don't know that it is a sound, it's an alarm that a child is going through a lot. If a child withdraws from the association with others, sometimes schools don't pay attention to such minor. And what you call minor,
children.
Yes, let me tell you, what you call minor is alarming and can be overwhelming if the results come out. Why are we getting suicides in schools? We are getting them, but when you go back in the life of this child, you realize that it started last year, but you didn't pay attention to it. So schools sometimes overlook the emotions of children.
Yes.
And sometimes schools also throw it back at parents and say, let parents also do this. It's their responsibility. Whereas they forget that children spend a lot of time with teachers more than they spend with their own parents. So I think it is a call that let schools be parents.
Go away from just the books and look at the other parts of them.
And then also understand that in the world we are in today, grades minus molos is equal to nothing. If you gave me a first-class child, but who can't greet, who cannot take care of himself,
who is rude,
who cannot take care of the other people, who is rude, it equals to zero. But if you gave me a middle child who is not that excellently performing in grades but has molos, I give a tick and a credit. So let schools divert and they embed and make a comprehensive model whereby we are not only looking at academic excellence but also bringing in the issue of moral empowerment.
I know you went to school for the mental bit of it, mental psychology, and so I cannot leave you to go without giving me one thing about our children mentally, something that, let's say, shocked you most when you started studying about the brain, because we were talking about it earlier and she was talking about how it encompasses everything in our well-being. But children, is there anything when you are studying about mental psychology that shocked you most, that you did not know until you were in class?
Yeah, one of the things that actually I've even found it in the field is that children are so brave than parents. A child can study a parent very well and will be at two children in one.
Okay.
So the child understands that you love people who pray. The child will always pray when he's with you. But when he gets outside, he takes drugs. But when he comes back to you, he becomes what you want. So one of the shocking things that parents don't know is that the children you see in your house are not the children we have outside.
The apple of your eye.
I have seen parents who say, I bet my hand, my son cannot do that. And then tomorrow, the same parent comes back and tells you that my child is in cuffs and ABCD. So it is about children's exposure has triggered their hormones and their brains have grown. Like they are sharper than we were during that time.
When we were growing up.
So that calls upon parents that as long as you want to see a legacy and you want to leave a child that is responsible, you must change the model of parenting that you are using. Because those days we used to fear to be beaten, that when they beat you, you make sure you never do that again.
Yeah.
These days when you beat, it is a motivation to do it again.
Yeah.
They will say, after all, I know they will beat me. Let me do it, and they beat me. So you have, please, you have to also visit people. Don't die alone, because that problem you're trying to hide and assuming that is not in your house, it is going to alarm outside and you'll be ashamed. So better look for people who can support you. I have got parents that have come to us at Afromothers Uganda, and we have supported them. They come and ask, what type of parenting can I use? My girl has gone into teenage stage. My boy is going into adolescent stage. And then we guide them. So don't die withholding what you used to do. Don't die alone.
You're not a hero.
You're not a hero. And there are people outside there that have really specialized and niched in parenting that can be of help.
Yeah. Don't look any further. The people she's talking about are from others. How do people, any last remarks before we get into how people get in touch with you on this topic?
You can reach me on my contact or come to our offices. Maybe I can give them my contact.
Yes.
It is 0704 95 54 and 45. I repeat it, 0704 955445. It is also on WhatsApp. You can send me a message, please. I'm willing to support. I'm not alone. We are a team of very many mothers that have been trained and who have compassion and passion to respond to every question that you raise as a parent. And then also you can come to our offices that are located in Ichigowa Lot, Bad Salama Building, Afromothers Uganda. But you can also find us on Google Map, Afromothers Uganda. You can follow our teachings.
Even on TikTok.
We are on TikTok. Put Dr. Blessing Psychologist on TikTok, and then you can always see what we share with children and pick, maybe you can pick something small that you can share also with your children.
I think let's say this in Luganda. Omuzadde ali eyo tofa weka, tofa how do they call it, office, tofa weka. If you are having issues with your children, or sometimes you have one child, or you do not have a support system, you don't have anyone else to look out for and ask, how do I go about this? She is here. And Dr. Blessing, I truly do not take it for granted to have you here. Only I know what I went through, and her as well, to have her here. Thank you for sharing with us, for having this heart for our nation, because you still see the diamond in the rough, to know that the children are surely the future, but also what we need to get to do better. So thank you. I give you your flowers now that you are here. Any last remarks that you leave with us before we say bye?
Abazadde. Tofa kirodi. Omwana tomukuza yeka, omwana kuzibwa abantu bonna. Bw'oba oyina by'oyitamu ng'omuzadde, abaana bali kunywa enjaga, abaana banywa walaji, abaana basula mu biduula, abaana bafuuse baana. Don't complain. Ate to joining a group yaba complaininga kabagamba abaana batulemye, bwe babalemye mukozeewo ki? Osobola kututuukirira nga Afromothers Uganda ne tukuyamba, either okuyamba okwogera n'omwana wo oba okuyigiriza by'osobola okukola okuyamba omwana wo. Nkimanyi nti bw'oba ofunye chance n'otutuukirira, tujja kuyamba. Ffenna tukolere wamu tukuze omwana anaasobola okutusigalira mabega nga ekyokulabirako. So oli agenda sigala ng'atemula abantu, anywa enjaga, akola kibingi nnyo mu bimanyi. N'okwetunda ku kubo bingi abaana baffe bagenzeemu. Ate kyendishuwa buli muzadde ayagala mwana mulungi. Buli muzadde ayagala mwana nga ne bw'obeera ku kitanda ng'ofa ogamba ne bwenfa olwaleero akaana kange gye kali kaavaayo kajja kuyamba banne. So tofa weka. Obugaga bwonna bw'okola bw'oba totegese mwana bujja kufiira bwereere, naye bw'omutegeka bulungi ne bw'ovaawo omwana atandikira we wakoma. Neyanziza neyanzige. Sarah,
Dr. Blessing, better adopt me. My mom is giving me away. She wouldn't feel any
I am a mother to very many children. I move in schools and ndi mama. Ate njagala nnyo abaana. Kamba bulire nze njagala abaana, era bwe ndaba omuzadde ng'akuba omwana mba ngamba maama waliwo engeri nnyingi gye tusobola okuyamba omwana. Nono omwana tomukubye ate n'avaamu nga bw'oyagala.
I mean, we
Yeah.
cannot say anything else. Please keep it right here on Wide Awake. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Now, if you have any question for Dr. Blessing whatsoever, please reach out on our number right there. We shall be able to send through all your questions, your concerns to her. We shall help you connect with her so that you get all the help and the assistance you need. You've been lovely. Thank you for being a part of this show. And again, Dr. Blessing, I am truly, if there's anything I'm going to take from this, it's intentional. I think it's your word. Yeah, because when
I
I
love
called her,
it.
she's like, Stella, I don't do things just for just. I like to be intentional.
Intentional.
Yeah, so that's what we shall leave with you. My name is Renji Stella, Dr. Blessing.
Namara.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless you.